things that I'm not able to talk about with friends, such as like white people. They always seem to go red when they're angry. They go brown when they're tan. They go purple when they get bruised. They go yellow when they get sick, and they go green when they're envious. And they seem to always go black and blue when they're bruised. And they have the nerve to call me colored.
It's true.
Go
We're all
figure.
colorful in our own way.
That's true, right? So that's the kind of jokes I'm talking about, because as I was growing up for the longest time, I've gone through the stages of being called Negro, colored, Black, African, Canadian. I don't know where that came from. They were working for me, African American, African Canadian, and now I'm back to Black again, and now it's woman of color. So I've gone through my stages of not being able to be identified on applications and just in life. And people say, "What should I call you?" I always say Deirdre. But
Yeah.
Yeah, and I noticed you've given us your email as your name tag, which is an invitation to people to reach out to you.
That was a big invitation, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Being vulnerable once again, putting my whole name out there and where you can contact me.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your vulnerability to us. One of the things that Neil and I, when we started the Modern Seniors podcast, one thing that kept us coming back to it again and again, and is this question: how we can build an authentic and trusting community that individuals like you can feel you are part of, you belong here, you that you have a story to tell, and we invite that story to tell. And so we normally ask all of our guests every time, because in one sitting, Neil, you know this. Maybe, Neil, you can expand a little bit more. In one setting, we can't just complete the conversation. And so we are going to ask if you would like to come back again.
Yeah, I will expand on
Amy, you know I said... Amy, you know I said no to this podcast like 5 times, and she kept coming back. I was saying she has no boundaries. But this is the thing you're gonna do. She's like an Oprah Winfrey over here. She just kept on going, and then she phones me on Thursday. Okay, so we're on again for tomorrow, right? I said, what? I canceled like 4 times before in every way I could, and so I'm here, even with technical difficulties, in the library of VCC Community Center, doing a podcast at 9:00 in the morning. So you got me, and I would be more than happy to come back, because yeah, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad. Now I know how it all works.
Yeah,
and I'd like to come back and I'd like to come back and speak about how I put myself into community centers, and how I'm able to be seen as free beading classes. Then I end up teaching a beading class at another community center, neighborhood house. And then through art, I've gone to Mount Pleasant Neighborhood House, and they said, why don't you just show us your crochet? So I started teaching crochet. So take your skills and take them places and learn, and then maybe you can teach. And they're so willing to take on anybody for a workshop.
Yeah.
And then
I do have one more question for you, Dee, but before I get to that, I wanted to add to what Amy said earlier, which is that as seniors, we bring with us kind of a portable, not just a portable lunch, but a portable banquet of experience. And this is why we find it so hard on Modern Seniors to cover all the ground in a single episode, and why we love to invite people back once we've had a conversation, because we know the audience is dying to hear and ask more questions and learn more about them, and just become better acquainted. So yeah, you can't eat a banquet at one sitting. That's one way of putting it.